Hello everybody and welcome for a new Kerbal Space Program video. This video was meant to get out 1 week after its final release, but it's released now because I thought it will be more funny to watch this one than the video that was previous made for today. So this video is about, yes, a moon mission. So we start by a little rover on the mountains, so I cut the scenes right now because I just thought letting all and just speed it up, it's not fun to watch. So this is almost all at the real speed, but it's cut, so it will not be longer than the other videos, and it will be funnier to watch as a true gameplay. So as you can see, Jebediah is planting a flag with trees on the mountains because I don't have any tree to put here, so I put a flag with trees, and to just show to the world how ecological we are. So yes, we launch rockets and we are ecological, a little bit like Musk or other billionaires that launch rockets and think it's ecological or for our future. It's for science, yes, but not for our direct future. So I'm making the moon module. As you can see, it just meant for one person, so we will use the science experiments just one time. It's not very nice. I could have used them more than one time because we can have put another pilot in here to just make the science experiment, but it's too expensive on fuel level at our point. So I'm making just a basic rocket, and this time I'm watching the part on the right. So as you can see, when I right click on the staging, we can see the thrust weight ratio, and it needs to be around 1, because around 1 it's the rocket will not take off very much, but it will take off and be very efficient. So I'm just adding 2 boosters like on all normal rockets, and this is a flight on the first try. So I just got to the moon on the first try. I'm upgrading myself skills, so not real skills. We cannot talk about skills because another people just made this rocket flight with a lot less fuel than me, but I want to be just sure that we'll fly great. And as you can see, it's not even centered yet. But we can pass on the comments of the flight. So we're about 100 meters second at 1 kilometer above the ground. We're at T plus 20 seconds. Jebediah seems really happy to be the first man to go around the moon, around the moon, not really in orbit, but just see the moon in his rocket. So as you can see, the boosters just separate because it's now time to separate them because it's empty, and the rocket have just stabilized itself after a short turnaround. So it's not very nice, but it flies, and it flies pretty great. We have normally an excess of fuel that will lead us to make a very stable mission and with no leaks or no problems on the mission, like in Apollo 13 that was going to came back to Earth without stepping on the moon because they had a problem with explosion and fuel remaining. So we don't have this problem. Jebediah is happy to be there. We are almost on orbit. We are at 26 kilometers height. Not almost on orbit, but in some minutes we will be. We are at T plus 2 minutes. Really nice. So for this mission, almost all the interesting parts of the mission are not cut. So you will see approximately like a real gameplay time. So it's nice, and it's in the style of Matt Lone. If you know me, you probably know Matt Lone. It's, for me, the better Kerbal Space Program YouTuber on YouTube, obviously. And he makes really nice videos where he builds a rocket and he makes them fly. He's specialized in SSTOs. For me, I just tried SSTO but never work as intended because almost all of them just use more fuel than intended and just can do much more than a transorbital flight, as you can see in the last videos. So we're on the orbital flight and orbital just approach. So we are going to put all gas here to make an orbit. You can see the periapsis and apoapsis on the bottom left corner. Our periapsis is just raising up. We are in the ground for the periapsis. It means that we will crash if we continue like this. But we have a second stage with 2,500 meters per second delta V, excuse me. So it's more than needed for a moon mission. Approximately at this point we only need 1,500. So I'm pretty nice with it, pretty comfortable. So you can see the oxidizer, the fuel levels on the right, and the electrical energy. It's the thing that will be annoying for the mission, because we don't have a lot of this, and it will be nicer to have just 1 or 2 batteries more, but with 50 we're nice. So Jebediah is fine in his capsule, little capsule. First, the mission has to be just some days long, but with the end of the mission, that was a thermical and just atmospheric re-entry to just break ourselves, break the enormous speed that we had. It was very longer than this. So as you can see, I'm just taking on my ascendant and descendant node and make them at 0 approximately, and after changing some parameters of the maneuver to have a moon encounter. So it should be pretty close to the moon, because we want to see the moon actually, but not crash into that like we were 2 seconds before. So it's a maneuver of almost 1000 meters per second delta V, so approximately half of our fuel reserve. So it's nice and it's comfortable for us. So we are 6 minutes into the flight. I just set an alarm to stop the rocket when we just came to the maneuver. So as you can see, it's not moving directly from the Earth, it's just turning around but in the same position. It's a little bit strange to see that, but it's nice, and it's nice graphics. So I don't have mod installed for graphics, but it still be cool with the little atmosphere blue white thing that we can see. So I have a mod that tells me exactly when I should do my burn, so it's right now 900 meters per second delta V. So we need to push for approximately 50 seconds from now. Jebediah seems fine, no problem in the capsule, no oxygen leaks, so that's nice. You can see the moon from here, so that's where we are going to be. Just to turn around this, checking up the little fuel levels, the protective shield from the re-entry, checking that's no problem on the capsule and other, and we're going to be around the moon in some minutes. For us, some minutes. For Jebediah, it's I think 2 days, because I don't make the fastest maneuver possible. So as you can see, little adjustment and we are done with the maneuver. So I don't know why it wasn't around the moon. As you can see, we will not encounter the moon with that, so I needed to just correct it by braking a little bit. Obviously I pushed more than we need. So here we are doing this, so pretty well wasting a little bit of fuel, but it was just predicted. I knew that we needed to make this with a little bit more fuel, because I know that myself I'm not very good for maneuvers. So as you can see, I'm not very good with maneuvers, but in 2 days and 1 hour Jebediah will be around the moon at approximately 50 kilometers height, so 100 for now. So it will be close, but not very close. So we can use this and the thermometer to just keep some science, because those are renewable, so we can do them more than 1 time in the mission. But for the other, I will wait to be around the moon, because it's the point where we will have more science than just here. We'll probably make a moon rover or something like this in the next episodes. It will depend on our funds and our science parts. But the next episode will be on planes, I think, and the next one will be on some tourism around the moon, like the mission we are doing, but for the moon tourism. So as you can see, another orbit, and up we are around the moon. I just skipped a little bit because I didn't know we were on the moon, but as you can see, some science, it's huge. It's around 20, 30 for each one, and for the big one we will see in some seconds, but it's a lot for our part of the game. So this one is 50 science points, so it's very nice and it will help us. So we need to make some science with Jebediah directly. So as you can see, Jebediah is going out of the rocket and make some EVA reports. So all are putting in this little module in the middle. It's not a science thing directly, it's a science collector that will help us to protect the science from the re-entry if we get to explode or any problem. But no matter, we will have an explosion, but we can just undo that. So as you can see, a little break from the moon's orbit and other to see where I should just brake to get the most efficient brake of the flight. So I need to pay attention, but because from now I don't have as many fuel as I wanted to have, and this will lead us to brake with the atmosphere. Obviously I thought it will be very fast, like 2 or 3 times, but it take more than 2 hours running my computer and waiting, because it was, I think, 50 or 60 turns around the Earth, because I just make this to raise down our periapsis, but not the apoapsis, and it was very very high. So in the high atmosphere you cannot just brake as in the lowest atmosphere, so it was very long, but I don't explode it with the force around it. So it's a good or a bad point, because I ended up exploding, but I had a progression just save, so I was able to just save our Kerbal and our mission, because it is very expensive and it's Jebediah, so we cannot waste their life for this. So as you can see, we have a periapsis at 60 meters above the ground, and we will raise down our apoapsis with the 100 meters per second delta V remaining. So was it useful? I think not, because I won time, but I would have won more time just raising down our periapsis. So let's just skip up to another orbit, because I won't let you all the orbits, it's very long and it was very annoying for me. So for you I think it will be the same. So let's just skip to another orbit. As you can see, it's one example to show you how I broke. How I broke, I don't know this verb exactly, but we need to learn it. So it's how I did, so accelerating between all orbits, and after just braking in the atmosphere. So our apoapsis is at more than 300 kilometers, 3,000 or 3 million, I don't remember what is M for that. I think it's 3 million meters, so it's like 3,000 kilometers. So it's more than needed, so just raise down the periapsis will have been a better solution, but I don't made it. So we are coming here from the last accelerations and other. So yes, here we are, the last final break. So our periapsis is in the ground below 0 point. So it means that we will do the last re-entry, but this one goes wrong because I just forgot to turn on the SAS, and when I passed the limit where the thing will burn really hard, it exploded. So as you can see, the module with science just exploded, but no matters because its science was just saved on that module, because I thought it will explode, so I just made this to save it. But as you can see, we are re-entering by the side, and the side is not protected by any shield, so it will turn wrong. So as you can see, all is hitting. We are entering in the atmosphere, the lowest atmosphere, at more than 1500 meters a second. It's fatal and deadly, so as you can see, exploding. So this is the second try, second guess. So we are just here breaking with the SAS and the shield that protects us from the heat, so the shield is meant for that, and when the module will explode, we'll swap on the front shield. So like this, we will have a shield for all the mission. So the shield is using itself a little bit. You can see on the resources screen its state, and here we just passed on the front shield because the rear one just exploded. So Jebediah is fine, and we are below the sound wall, so it's very nice. Our re-entry is very nice. Just take up the parachutes and a little cut to the end. So please subscribe if you liked, and see the other videos. Thank you.